Do you want to be successful? Do you want to achieve your goals in life? Reading is an important factor in achieving success and reaching your goals. Why is that? Listen to this quote from the book, A Dance with Dragons. Readers live 1,000 lives. The one who never reads lives only once. This can be understood by, if you read a book, you're gaining an experience. You're experiencing what the author lived and experienced, but in a summary. So if you're trying to achieve success in investments, you might read a book about a successful investor. You're gaining a lifetime experience in that book. You might find mistakes and best ways of doing things. So now you're ahead of the game. You might start out to be successful from the get-go because you read that book. What also might be interesting is that the first word revealed in the Quran was read. The 5 excuses that we make that might prevent us from reading more. Number 1, no time. You might say that you work hard, you have a lot of responsibilities, you have to take care of your family. There's always something going on in your life. But try taking a book with you everywhere you go. And instead of going on your phone, checking your social media, take that 5 to 10 minutes and read a couple pages in the book. Everybody checks their phone, checks their social media. So you're gonna find 5 to 10 minutes here and there to start reading that book. Or you might do this. You might start reading before you go to bed. So after you brush your teeth, you lie down, pick up your book and start reading at least 10 pages a day. And that will prevent you from being on your phone before going to bed. Another excuse: too expensive. You might say that books nowadays are too expensive. I'm barely able to pay my bills, so how can I afford to buy books? I have a bookshelf full of books that I have purchased from library book sales. So you can go to your library, your local library, and ask when are their book sales. And all these books on my bookshelf I have purchased for 50 cents, maximum $1. So you can find really valuable books for 50 cents, 30 cents, $1. Very cheap. And currently I'm reading this book, How Could You Do That? And I'll leave the link in the description below if you're interested. Another excuse: you're never able to finish a book. You pick up a book, you read a couple pages, and you never come back to read the whole book. And you keep on going, you get another book, you start reading a couple pages, and you let go. This is because you're not interested in the topic, or you're reading 2 books that are too long. So if you're not interested in the topic, but you're trying to learn a certain subject, for example, if you're trying to learn about investing, books might be boring. So try to find shorter books so you can finish them faster. So you don't have to go through a long and detailed book from the start. As you get used to these short books, you'll be able to transition into longer books easily. But if it's only that you're reading books that you're not interested in, I recommend that you read books that you're more interested in find a topic that you're interested in. I usually like horror stories, supernatural, mystery. When I started reading the Harry Potter books, I wasn't able to sleep some nights because I couldn't stop reading. When you read books that you're interested in, you usually finish the book faster, and that will give you a sense of accomplishment and encourage you to read more and more. Another excuse: I can just watch the movie. And that might be true. I also used to say that. I can just watch the movie and I will know what the book was about. Until I started reading the Harry Potter books. I have watched all the movies, all the Harry Potter movies since I was young, and I've watched them probably a million times. But not until I started reading the books was when I started to grasp a lot more details on what the story was actually about. I was able to know more about the details, like conversations that aren't in the movie. So books give you a lot more detail. It's good to watch the movie either after or before reading the book though. I prefer, personal preference, to watch the movie and then read the book. It will kind of give you a visual of what you're reading, and it will help you engage more in the book. Another excuse: high expectations. So we go out there and watch all these YouTube videos about YouTubers who might read a book in a week or read 100 books a month, and they share their experiences, and then we get encouraged and we go out there and buy a book and come and sit down, and then we find that we're only halfway through the first chapter, and then we get discouraged and we stop reading. But what we don't realize is that these YouTubers and these influencers are not starting out reading. They've been reading for a while. Either they've started from the time that they were young, or they've started way before you have. You're just starting right now. You can't give a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old a bike and tell them to start riding right away. They have to train on a tricycle until they're able to balance themselves, and then they'll be able to ride a normal bike regularly. So by breaking it down and taking it slowly, not putting too much pressure on yourself, and maybe using this strategy where you look at, okay, how many pages are in the book that I'm trying to read. If you have 200 pages in the book and you want to read it over the length of the month, you have 30 days in the month. So you would divide the 200 pages into 30 days. And there you go. It'll be a lot easier for you to finish that book, because as you start reading, you'll know how many pages you have to read each day. And that will be a lot less stressful for you. Speaking of breaking it down and taking it slowly, you might want to watch this video next, where I explain this strategy of breaking it down into daily goals, so that you can start achieving your long-term goals faster, and you'll start having less stress every day. So long.